So it's Saturday, we're back on it. We've got Mike in again. He's helping me out, helping me catch up with work because, as you know, the only car I've got for sale is the Mitsubishi Mirage, which is just sold, and the Mitsubishi ASX done, having the camera done. So subscriber came today. Hi guys, I won't use names again. I didn't check whether everybody's okay or not with it. But yeah, lovely family came up, looked at Mitsubishi today. Having that, I'm just going to do a quick service on it so they can pick it up Monday morning, because I noticed I'd misread the service indicator. It was saying that it is actually due rather than not being due. So we'll get the service done on that. So that little car's sold. Perfect little car. Exactly the right buyer for that car. Just wanted a low cost runabout, but it was newer with the lower miles, so she knew the reliability was going to be there. Really low running costs. So yeah, that was ideal for her. Mike's also in between doing the i10. He's been polishing the headlights on the Nissan Note for me, and doing little bits of trim up here that also fade. The bits on the Nissan Notes that fade are the bits that are directly in the sunlight, like beaten straight down on them, which is the top of them here and the headlights. So Mike's given them a clean up for me, again, because it's one of the more labour intensive jobs that will get me ahead, because cleaning it's going to be quite simple. It's a super clean car. So yeah, busy as always. Got to get onto the Astra after these two are done. So hopefully we'll get the i10 done today, and we can start to get that photographed. Might be Monday morning to finish that off, but hopefully we can photograph the Nissan Note this afternoon and get that up for sale, and hopefully I can work out when my camera keeps going dark. I am cast iron plumb. I just went to get rid of some cardboard, found this in amongst it. So the subscriber that sent us the story about the private sale of the car kindly sent me this fantastic Citroen sign, which I gave him a shout out for. I didn't realise there was a second sign in the box. I only just spotted it. It's an MGB one. Isn't that cool? So thank you ever so much for that. Sorry I hadn't spotted it before. So doing a bit of editing, Steve's messaged me on Instagram, where I tell you guys all to message me if you want to offer me your car for sale. And he's offered me this Seat Leon FR Estate. What a fantastic looking car that is. I've had Leons before myself and really do like them. They are really nice cars. But the only problem with it being 125,000 miles. Got a full service history, loads of history on it. It's been really well looked after. He clearly has looked after the car really well. But the problem is I've had a look at warranty wise, and because it is at the age it is, they won't give me gold cover on it, which means that I wouldn't be covered for some of the highest risk things going wrong on it. And this is the problem. I mean, that is clearly a lovely looking car, really lovely looking car, and I know they've got loads of punchers, 150 brake horsepower ones, haven't they? Really nice car, but it's just I'm beginning to have a healthy fear of cars now that I can't cover with the comprehensive warranty. I sold the Mitsubishi earlier today, and it fell as a gold, and that covers pretty much everything on the car, and it hasn't got an awful lot to go wrong on it anyway, isn't it? So as nice looking as I think that car is, and as a fantastic it would be, it's unfortunately for retailing just too high a risk. So I wish them all the best with the sale. Maybe one of you subscribers would like it. Bug me a message if you would, and I'll put you in touch with Steve. But it is a fantastic looking motor. So while I'm talking to subscribers, shout out to Mike. Mike sent me a Fiat 500 resistor. He didn't use on his vehicle, so he thought I might find it useful, and they are quite a common failure on the cars. So yeah, it's good to have that. If I recognise it correctly, it's a fan resistor, and they go quite a lot on the Fiat 500s. So yeah, Mike has his own channel, Mike Genic Cycling. I'll put a link into it down below, because he let me know he had a channel. So it seems fair as he sent me a resistor to give me a little shout out for his channel. So thanks for that, Mike. I'll put it on the shelf amongst my wealth of Fiat 500 bits. It does help having stuff like this on the shelf, because it means that I can obviously just speed things up for customers if I can pop it in myself there and then. Please don't take that as an invite though to send me all the crap you've got kicking around your garages though, guys. I've got enough of that for myself. Cake and chocolate brownies is still the preferred postal gifts, thanks. Hi guys, Monday morning. We've got to get the Mirage service done before pickup. So the oil's just draining out of that. I'm doing it in here because we're keeping it nice and clean before pickup, so it makes sense just to keep it here. So all straining off that. As many of you said in the comments, I don't think this is a Toyota engine, is it? Because the oil filter's in different positions, so I'm not sure what this is shared with, but very similar, isn't it? Chain driven little 1 litre. So today, get the service done on that for handover on that. Try and get the Nissan Note ready. Do the little bit of paint on that wing. And tart up the i10. How much of this I'm going to get done today, I don't know, because also I'm getting a rubbish clearance done tomorrow by our subscriber Pete. So I need to get all of that gathered together today, so that when he comes it's all ready to go and I don't hold him up. So yeah, got a lot on as always, but yeah, main issue being the only car we've got for sale is the ASX, which is down having its advisory free MOT done, isn't it? Which I'll then swap out for the DS to get the water pump done on it, so fingers crossed that works. As so many of you have said, fingers crossed that works. So yeah, I only got the one car for sale that isn't even in the building, so I need to get a wriggle on and get these other cars up for sale. A clever little bit of design there. Just below the filter, they've put a, just trying to get a point out, a little bit of metal there, sort of funnel shape, so that when you're undoing the filter, rather than run all the oil down the side of the block, it creates like a little funnel to go into your oil tray. Nice little touch. Oh, filter out. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Didn't come with any service history, this one, did it? But it didn't come with any handbooks either, so I think the whole thing, the book's missing with the handbook. So I've messaged Mitsubishi, and hopefully they'll come back to me with some information. Some manufacturers are more helpful than others. So fingers crossed we can get a bit of history that way. But looking at the oil, looking at the air filter, I do think it has been looked after. Just don't understand why all manufacturers can't make air filters just clip in like that. It makes life so much easier. Just put the air filter and oil filter in a position that are easy to get to. Going to save half the servicing costs. Or perhaps I don't want to save half the servicing costs. The oil, bang on. Something very satisfying about seeing that golden dipstick, isn't there? Very sad, I know. But yeah, all good to go. All ready for our customer pickup. So I do have blank service books, so I'll write that service up in the book, and then hopefully when Mitsubishi get back to me, hopefully they'll give me some info and I can fill in the rest of the book. But we'll definitely mark up this service. Obviously being non-aircon, there's no cabin filter side of things to do, I don't believe. I'll double check. But yeah, that's it, all ready to go. We noticed the airbox was flapping about a bit too much. It's still got some movement in it, but I've replaced the bush with 2 rubbers there because the bush was even too big a cap and this was really flapping about. Still flaps about a bit, but it's just the join here between the air filters that don't seem to clip particularly tightly, and there's only that one fit in there with quite a lot at the back, so there's a lot of room for movement. That was flapping around really badly before and making a rattling noise, so it's improved a bit. Minutes out to watch Mannheim's live auction just to get a feel for what's happening in the market at the moment, and what I'm seeing so far is that the bigger stuff with the bigger diesel engines and so forth isn't getting its money, but there's lots of bidding on the smaller stuff. That seems to be doing quite well, but small petrol is definitely doing better than small diesel, and the bigger diesels aren't doing very well at all from what I can see so far. See, this petrol Golf looks like it's going to get all of its money, I think. The bidding's a lot stronger on this than it was on the diesel A3. It's going to get all of its money. Small petrol hatchback. I think I'm going to see this trend across all of the auction. See another small petrol hatchback. Should get all its money, unless I've missed something in the report. There's 4 things that are wrong with it in the report, looking at it. I wonder what they are. There we go. That's why it's not reaching its money. Strong bid considering, really, that is going on with it. Braver people than me. So we've got a big Audi Q7, is that? Sorry, Q5, 2 litre diesel. Seems this one's still popular. It doesn't seem to have any problems, but it's still struggling to meet cap. Diesel BMW 1 Series. Again, it's full marks for its report, but it's struggling to get to cap. Full marks for its report. It's a grade 4, bear in mind, a little bit of paintwork, but even stuff like that was meeting cap before. This is a grand underneath, cap clean. Big Range Rover, the diesel engine, gets full marks on its report, and it's grade 1 bodywork wise, so it should reach its cap of 2.7, but it's not currently getting there. Struggling even to meet an average price, even though this is grade 1, so it's the best. Yeah, see, should have flown really, shouldn't it? Grade 1, but this is the kind of thing, so this is the kind of thing I might bid on. It's got no stamps. See how it does. It's a bit of a tatty one, needs a little bit of paint, but this is going to do all its money. It's going to do all its money, even though it's not. It's a grade 4. It's going to do all its money. This. Yeah, I don't think I'll bid on that. I don't think there's enough margin in it for me. But look, that's a tatty 500. It's made all of its money. My assessment's pretty correct. I think diesels are not popular at the moment. Big diesels especially. It's all about the small CC petrols, which is kind of what I said in my last video when I was going to focus on. Well, how cool is this? Ivor, one of our subscribers, just popped in and dropped me off all this stuff. He was clearing out his garage. He just dropped me off all this stuff, which I really probably shouldn't have taken because I've got enough, but it's just all really useful bits and bobs. But the coolest thing about it is I said to Ivor, what are you doing with all these tools? He said, well, I used to do what you do, fix up a bit of cars. I said, what cars did you use to fix up? He said, Saabs. I said, you didn't work out of Braunton, did you? He said, yeah, I did. I said, you didn't sell them from outside your house? I said, yeah. I said, Ivor, I've had 2 cars off you. Back in the day when I first started tinkering with cars, Ivor used to sell Saabs, classic cut Saabs, and I had a Saab 9000 turbo off of Ivor. I had a Saab 900 convertible and a Saab 900 turbo, and they're some of the very earliest cars I ever flipped from my house. I did minor repairs on little bits of paintwork, that kind of stuff, and so he's been watching my channel, not because he didn't recognise me, not recognising me at all, but as soon as we got chatting, I realised that is the Ivor that used to sell me the Saabs. He used to have such cool cars, cool old Saabs, and yeah, I used to buy them when I had my corporate job and do a little bit of work on them and flip them just for fun. So yeah, massive thanks to Ivor for all this stuff, but what a small world. Interesting, while we were chatting about PCV valves, and we were having a little chat about the Polo outside, and I was saying, you know, I checked the PCV valve because he said how common it was on the Saabs to be a problem as well. I said I checked the PCV valve, looked at it and said it wasn't clogged up, and he said to me, they don't need to be clogged up because they can often have a one-way valve in them or a spring, and if that's failed, that's what your problem is. So out of interest, while he was here, we whipped it off the Polo, and both of us, two of us, observed the same thing. Now I've got a PCV valve here. They sent me the wrong one, but it is a VW one. And it is very similar. It's just a bit bigger. Now, if you look inside this one, you probably won't be able to see. Let's get it in the light. If you get it in this one, light, you can't see now. But if you were here, you'd be able to very clearly see a spring going from the top and bottom inside there, very clear as day. Now if you go in here and look at this one, so presumably that's in the open position or whatever, if you look in this one, you can see the spring, but it's only halfway up. You can't see any of the spring at the top at all, almost like this one is stuck halfway down inside the PCV valve. Now, I don't proclaim to know exactly how those work, and Ivor said obviously he doesn't know how the VW ones work. He's a Saab guy, but could it be that simple? I mean, I'm looking at this, and it certainly looks like it could be in a different position. It might be a red herring, it might not be. But I was assuming what I was looking for with the PCV valve on the Polo, I was assuming I was looking for it to be totally gunged up and full, so that so nothing could pass through it. But I didn't realise there was actual components inside it that could fail. Is it possible that the components failed inside it? I don't know, we're not going to know till the new one comes for sure, but if that does happen, that'll be a major, major result. So anyway, thanks to Ivor for that, and good to catch up on my old early days flipping. Let's get back to the i10. So that's the Mirage all picked up. Lovely family. I say that about everyone, don't I? But yeah, genuinely lovely people. Helping out mother-in-law, and she's really happy with the car. It's exactly what she needs. Just sent them off down the road to the pub that Adrian and I were at the other day to have a nice bit of a meal before they head back to Exeter. So yeah, wasn't the most profitable deal in the world. In fact, it wasn't very profitable at all. But we've moved a good car on. You know, it didn't need a huge amount of work doing to it. I just thought it was a BCA buy, so the margin wasn't huge in the first place. The MOT costs were relatively high in terms of it didn't need a lot, but I did 4 tyres all round rather than just do a couple. I did 4, and so that adds up pretty quickly. And then the bit of paint we had done on the front wing, because I outsourced that and they were blended into other panels, that ran into a couple of £100. So between that, servicing and the MOT, I think we put, what did we put in it? Probably £700 odd. And then there's the VAT, which is another couple £100, so like £900. The warranty was a 6-month warranty on a newer car. And because they cover more on the newer cars, the warranties are more expensive. So I think the warranty alone cost nearly £200 on that. So even though it was a car that didn't need a lot, it quickly stacked up to probably nearly £1,000 worth of bits and bobs on that. So yeah, compared to the other cars I've flipped, it's probably like a third of the margin on it. But you can't make big profits on everything. And it came in and it went out quickly with relatively little hassle, so fingers crossed we don't get any warranty claims out of it. Oh yeah, parts were expensive. The wing mirror was like £110, whereas I can normally get a wing mirror for about £25, can't I? So that was expensive on top as well. Actually, I forgot that bit. So yeah, we easily put £1,000 into it. So even a car that's actually a really good runner driver with no major faults can add up very quickly. You can be nickel to diamond death on bits and bobs on it. Probably a bit generous offering a 6-month warranty, and it cost me a couple £100 because I'm normally paying about £100 for a warranty. So that's probably a bit excessive, but I know the main priority with that family is for mum not to have to put a hand in her pocket, to have something that's uber reliable, because she's had a lot of hassle with some stuff recently, so she just wants simplicity, and I think that hits the mark perfectly. And with that warranty as well, pretty much anything's going to be covered that comes up on it. So yeah, hopefully that goes through smoothly for him. So we need to crack on. I keep saying I need to crack on. I still haven't done what I'm supposed to get done today. I haven't got either of these cars prepped. So let's get on and do it. I've got a few more hours left before I need to go and help out my mate Kev. Hi Kev. Kev had the Fiat 500 from us a while back, family friend. It was when I was down at Alfa Ragazzi's. Bunged me a message yesterday to say that unfortunately it's broken down. Now obviously it's a long time after we provide the vehicle, so he's not after me for any warranty claim, just advice really. From what it sounds like, it could be an ECU, because it went into limp mode and she had to pull over, and when she restarted the car the engine management lights were on, but it ran fine. Now that's normally the ECUs as we know on those, so I'm going to swing by tonight, plug it in and give my advice on what it might be. Trouble with ECUs is you really don't know. If there's no code for the ECU, there's just the symptoms, and we know they are. But what I will be doing is I've got a spare coil pack here. I'm going to leave that with Kev, and he can then try that first and foremost if it happens again, because it's not happened again since, to eliminate the coil pack, because that is another common thing on a Fiat 500 1.2. There's only a couple of things that really go wrong with them. At least the ECU one's a quick one, and I know where to get sent off for if we do think it's that. So fingers crossed it is a coil pack, but my gut says that it's going to be the ECU. So with the i10, I'm using the compound on the polisher to try and take out some of the scratches. Don't even remember, there were some quite deep scratches in the corner of the bonnet here, wasn't there? So I used the polisher to take them out as far as I could, and then used the red coloured wax or polish from Teacup on there, and you can see we've got a really good shine now, and only the very deepest scratches are still visible, but from sort of here you don't see them at all. Same on that wing, there were some scratches up here. Again, you don't really see them now unless you really go looking for them, whereas they were quite obvious before. So there's other areas I've covered in that as well. So the roof, though, we've still got some dents in the roof there, and we've still got these big scratches here. So we're going to get the polisher on there and see if we can do as good a job on those as we can on the bonnet. Now these are quite a bit deeper. This was vandalised, wasn't it, I think? So I'll be interested to see how well we can get those out. What's also arrived is, haven't used one of these before, but it's a vinyl repair kit for the Nissan Note on the seat. So we've got a vinyl repair kit. I just ordered the one that got the best reviews on Amazon. It looks like it's just to sort of squeeze and play and wait for it to go off kind of thing, and then maybe sand it back and give it some colour. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I imagine we put something over the top of it once we put it on there to try and give it the texture. Some quite big cracks there. Could probably do with something behind. Oh no, I see. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be invisible afterwards, but it won't need that on it. It's going to look better than that, I would have thought. That isn't bad though. What have they got there? It was a very close match to the actual. Very close match to the actual fabric. Keep hold of that. I mean, I could just trim that down and glue that down properly, but we'll see how this goes first. If this doesn't work well, then we'll just do that in a bit of a tidier fashion. I don't think people are going to bemoan it too much with the 32,000 miles. I think that's what we'll be focused on, not whether there's a little bit of vinyl on the edge of that seat or not. I would hope not anyway. I'd hope would someone prioritise the bolster on one seat over the overall condition and mileage and service history of a car. That would seem a little bit strange, but then you do see strange things in this game. So it was a very basic set. We've got a Parkside from Lidl glue gun, so nothing expensive there. Not sponsored. One little glue tab you can buy on eBay. One of these little slide hammers you can buy on eBay with the connection on the back on the bottom for the tab. Not a very expensive setup. Doesn't always work, but it may well, because these roofs are pretty thin metal, may well pull that back out. So we'll give it a go and see what's what. Oh, just in case a few of you are wondering why James aren't just pushing them from the inside, I have taken the headliner down a bit, got my hand in there. Unfortunately, the brace is right along here, so that is preventing me from, those dents are onto the brace, which means I can't really do much about it. So that's why I'm trying from the outside. So I cleaned the side of the bolster down with some rubbing alcohol, and then put my first layer of the vinyl repair in. It's obviously not going to make the cracks disappear. It's just going to bond the stuff back down again and tidy it up, and it's going to need a couple of going overs before. Obviously you're super close at the moment, but now from back here, obviously it's a bit wet where it's drying off. It's going to look better than that patch, isn't it? So I'll wait for that to go off, give it a couple more goes, and then we should be good to go. Hopefully it'll just look like creases rather than actual broken material, which it won't be by the time this has gone off. But yeah, a couple more goes will level it off a little bit more. I'm wiping over the top of it with rubbing alcohol afterwards to take any material off the top of the vinyl where I don't need it. And like I say, I'll just wait for that to go off and then give it a couple more going over until it's sort of leveled right out. Okay, so done my thing on the roof of the i10. The scratches are still visible. They're not invisible, they're just improved. They were glaring in your face, big white marks before. Now we're giving the whole roof a machine polish. I did a little bit of wet sanding with 1200 grit. Excuse the truck. Did a little bit of sanding with 1200 grit just to flatten it down a little bit more, and then I machine polished it and I put the colour coded on. So again, it's not invisible, but as you can see, looking normally, it doesn't jump out and stare, straight in the face. And that's what a lot of this stuff's about. You're never going to get it perfect unless you sand the roof down and respray it completely. No one's going to pay you the kind of money for the car that's going to allow you to do that. They'd rather have it cheaper with a couple of minor blemishes. Dent in the roof, haven't been able to improve much, unfortunately, because I think it's tight on that reinforcing bar there. It needs a professional dent person to do it. I'll probably struggle to get one out before I put the car up for sale, so it'll be negotiable price point wise for them to get the repair done if they want to, or just get a lower price point on the car, I think is the way to go with that. Again, what we find most of the time in this sort of price range is people would rather have a bit of a saving than have it all perfect and pay a premium. But yeah, she's coming up nice. She's come really nice. Now she's had an overall buffing. Hell of a difference from the Death Threat car that came in a while back, wasn't it? Which was scratched absolutely everywhere. The bonnet's come up well. The roof's better. Obviously, we've got the scratches out the door there. So there's one more little buffer. I might try the buffer on just there, just tidy that up a little bit more. But yeah, and the interior's come up really nice with Mike helping at the weekend. I took the gear lever surround out, gave it a lick of paint because it was a bit untidy. Had some paint on it, but yeah, and he wet cleaned the seats. So yeah, it's coming out to be a nice little runabout. Again, should be perfect for the current market, I would have thought.